Are you intending to build a relationship that's stable, healthy, and at the same time goal-oriented? And are you really in need of the tips that will help you be equipped with the ability to focus on your goals and build yourselves? Well, then if that's the case, this video is ideal for you. The very first thing that we have to do is to identify and write down all the goals that we have to intend to achieve in life. It is remaining undeniable that every single human being does not have only one kind of goal that he or she would love to achieve. Therefore, it is very important to, much as we don't have to forget, we have to write them down all. The very first next thing to this is simply the classification of the goals. Classification of the goals will simply intend to build them or categorize them just as into being short-term and long-term. We are classifying them just because we understand that the way we deal with the long-term goals would not be the very same way we deal with those goals whose outcomes we would love just to see in a very short period of time. Well, focusing on the very long-term goals, much as it is the very same long-term goals that would actually keep us into the sphere of facing a lot of challenges and the struggles, because it helps us because these ones will now actually require us to be equipped into the facing of the problems that it brings along us in the past of this. Now, it means the very first thing that we have to do is, much as we understand that there are always struggles with the long-term goals, we have to understand what kind of the goal we are dealing with, and from there also suggests of the alternatives in anticipation for the struggles that these problems can, these goals can actually subject us with. Now, in this case, we should also always understand that different kinds of goals will subject us to different kinds of problems. That is why even the strategizing factor would also be different from here. It will have to be as flexible as possible. Now, a very good example for this is someone who is intending to travel via a plane would have different problems compared to someone who is intending to travel via a vehicle. What this simply means is someone intending to travel via a vehicle will have to make up for the cost of diesel or petrol, and even should also be able to anticipate for whatever weather conditions would subject them on the roads. So it means the strategies that this one will have to make will have to be those that will cover up or will have to stand in anticipation for the road-related problems. From there now, it is very important for us to actually equip ourselves with a constant routine. When I'm talking of a constant routine, it means it is that factor that will keep us always consistent to doing the very same thing in the right times, regardless of the feelings that we have about it. Because you can really wake up on some other day and become lazy, the other day you become energetic. But the consistency factor will have to mean that whether we like it or not, if it is studying every day, we have to do the very same thing in the very same manner and at the very same time. The very last factor that I would love to share is actually the evaluation of the tips that we're using. It is very much just possible that you can be following something but following blindly. It means we have to set up strategies that will help us to always evaluate whatever we're doing. That, for example, maybe after every month or after every week, we have to assess ourselves as to we are keeping ourselves on the plan or we are going offload. Thank you very much for listening.